What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra, is Three-Eyed Odin. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki, he's from the SOEE clan. His name is Mito. The map is Painted Desert, and it's currently 1-0 for Mito here in this best of 5 series for the Bill Gregg Open round of $64,000 prize pool with all of the goodies that are going on in here. As Ipit joins the chat, doesn't even remind me, but just seeing his name, I clicked the rec button. Three-Eyed Odin chucking down this mining camp, losing that first game with Odin, decides to switch things up and take his Ra into this matchup here. He's got a really strong Ra, does some devastating things to people, so we'll see if it translates here into this game. Ra versus Loki on this map I do not like at all. It's it's a hard one because there's no... Oh, he got destroyed by the classic Egyptian mistake there. I'll get into it, but first, Ra is one of those gods which on paper seems like he might do really well against Loki. He can get Axeman, which completely counter the Hursa. His priests are really useful, so he can mass priests, and while he doesn't need to use them in his army, he can empower stuff. He's got access to Son of Osiris as well, and mummies, which completely decimate the fire giants that Loki can do. But the big issue is getting your second gold mine. It's really difficult for Ra to do so on this map because you can see where the gold mines are. One's here, which is in front of this town center, so it's not able to be secured with a town center, so you have to secure it with a Migdol stronghold. And this town center over here doesn't really protect this because you can just run through this way or simply just run straight past the town center onto this gold mine. You can ignore the town center. It really doesn't do all too much there. Let's check out the relics though. Also, we do have Gaia's Book of Knowledge. It's not exactly important for Three-Eyed Odin. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Titan from Mito. Though you could potentially build a Titan as Ra here. Mito, on the other hand, what relics he got in this corner here? Scarab Pendant. This is a really good relic for Ra. It doesn't come into much play for Loki because most of his crush damage or building damage comes from those battle ball, those fire giants, those myth unit spawns, so you don't really need it, but you do want to take it away from the Egyptian player, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Three-Eyed Odin do that. Now the big question is Three-Eyed Odin going to get aggressive early? One of the big issues with Norse is that they take a little bit longer than everybody else to get going, right? So if you can disrupt that, which is really easy most of the time with most gods, you come out really far ahead. There's been a little bit of a push to make it a little bit harder for Egyptian to do that kind of thing. For example, the Pharaoh now does a negative 50% damage against villages until you research Hands of the Pharaoh. Same with the Wadjet, except there is no resetting of the Wadjet, so that's just a straight up nerf to the Wadjet. Shifting Sand is still a really strong god power, and we do see normally the Egyptian players sending their Pharaoh and their priest forward to try and do some harass. And you can see this, if he got the priest and the Pharaoh onto this location just as he hit the classical age, this hunting operation will be completely shut down for a good 4 minutes, or not 4 minutes, good 1 minute at the very least, until we see some actual Hursa popping out or something else. I'm seeing even the priest throwing down the obelisk here, as we're now seeing Mito going through force setting, making his way forward, but Three-Eyed Odin already here, already has the Tar, and the Pharaoh is going to be able to fight this one off. He's actually going to be able to pick off that Ulfsark as well and then turn his attention over onto that Hursa. Really nice play there, stopping that early aggression. Question is, where does he go from here? He's shutting down the barracks, so it's looking like we're going to be seeing a sort of Nilla classical fight here, which is actually a really strong thing against Loki. If you can get out enough axemen, you basically force Loki to go raiding cavalry. And once raiding cavalry come out, then you can start mixing in your spearmen, and it's really difficult for Norse to do that. And on top of that, we see that the Shifting Sands hasn't been used yet. So you can utilize that Shifting Sands to do a surprise attack. You can use that Shifting Sands to steal a bunch of Hersa. I believe you can get like 5 Hersa with that Shifting Sands if you build a little box in your base. Shift the Hersa in here, maybe throw up like your armory here, a house here, and like a couple of houses over here, and you get this nice trap you could throw up here, and then Shifting Sands into that Shifting Sands into that little wall there. Myto not with the best Oxcart placement here. An Oxcart sitting in the middle, as he's saying. One of the bonuses that Norse gets over every other god is that basically you have a moving Oxcart. So it's better to not have it's basically better to have your villagers hunting one hunt rather than as many hunt as they want, because you can just move the Oxcart around. And Merez in chat says that's why you always shift click your hunt, and he's not wrong. The big issue here that I'm seeing is he gets the shift, but there's no trap, and these Hersa are just gonna get out. None of them die. That's really bad for ThreeEyed Odin. That Shifting Sands there is huge, right? If he actually picks off all 4 of those Hersa, which he should have been able to do with this little trap that he started building but didn't finish. It's actually not the best, but he could have finished this. He would pick off 4 Hersa there. And as we saw from last game, this strategy that Myto is implementing here is sort of like, it's a little bit different in this game, but he builds like 10 Hersa. Oh, he's gone too many dwarves on gold here, but build 10 Hersa, go heroic age, flaming weapons incoming onto the second gold mine, which generally expires around 10:30 for Ra. And that just did not work for ThreeEyed Odin at all there. But Myto is in a good position here. He's got the healing spring up, gets all of these units back to full HP. And we are going to be seeing a heroic age here for ThreeEyed Odin. He's got to be happy about that. He's got the walls set up. Ooh, almost has the wall set up. For some reason, no villagers are here to finish this one off. And if he can get a Migdol stronghold up over here, then that prevents the walls from going down to like just a random Hersa attack. And then this gold mine is secure, basically. So we'll see if that's what he goes for or not. We're seeing Myto searching for some favor here, but ThreeEyed Odin on top of that deletes the granary there. And for some reason there, like nice play from ThreeEyed Odin, keeps his villager right in the middle of his base, but that is probably going to show Myto. Yeah, Myto sees those villagers moving off that gold mine there, moving up to this location. I'm hoping ThreeEyed Odin doesn't grab this town center, because he's not going to be able to afford to build villages and build army in this position here. I want to see him building up the Migdol stronghold and secure this gold mine at this point. We do see the attack is incoming here. He does manage to trap these units, but the deletion of the lumber camp there does manage to get the laborers up. You can move up onto this location, over to here. There's the Migdol stronghold. Good decision there. Get those villagers back to work really, really fast. ThreeEyed Odin probably needs to build a couple more axemen here. Go axeman cavalry or axeman chariot archer cavalry or something like that to just deal with those raiding cavalries a little bit. We're seeing the Pastuchos jumping into that rock here. Looking for something Locust. Locust has been nerfed in previous patches, so it doesn't do as much damage as it otherwise normally would have. And we do see that the Locust does come down here, and the beautiful reaction time there from Myto, but oh, really unlucky. The Locust moves really nicely. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwarves getting picked off there. And a bunch that are really low HP. That's a gigantic win there for ThreeEyed Odin. He's now sitting on these gatherers as well. He should be able to pick off a couple of these. And there's no reaction from Myto. Does manage to pick off one there. He's only going to be able to get one more attack off, and the rest of these gatherers should get away. Now, the rock just needs to keep flying around, dealing that damage. Loki has no real way to defend against this. He's got this troll out, but the Pastuchos, if microed correctly, will be able to pick off this troll. And there are no throwing axemen. The villagers moved over here, and the Pastuchos is incoming. There's so many low HP. There's so many low HP dwarfs here. if you just drop this Bestusios, you can jump onto these. There's a couple of Ursa here, but you just have to micro here. Micro these this Bestusios to kill off a couple of the low HPs. You managed to get that one. I thought it would be a little bit too high HP. Maybe a little bit of lag there, not getting the Bestusios into the rock well enough. We see the second town center up for Three-Eyed Odin in a really good position here. We're seeing another long house for Myto as he did hit the heroic age through Bragi. This one's a very difficult situation right now for Myto because he just lost so many. Villages here. Oh, now we're seeing the ox cart coming down as well. Is he going to be able to get this one off? He does pick off the ox cart, which means that these hunt villages need to go somewhere else. They have an ox cart here, but they're not going to be able to gather from here anymore. Again, Three-Eyed Odin is kind of out of position here. Don't want to be moving out of position until you have a full pop army and you're ready to fight. You don't need to. You've done so much damage. You just need to chill on that advantage you have. Don't let Myto take a fight that he wants to take, basically. We're seeing the rock doing some stuff. We've got the rain coming down. I like that. That does stop the flaming weapons from coming in, but there's no way for Three-Eyed Odin to continue. He has to get back. He can come back into this location, but there is a battle ball here. There's a bunch of these Hersa. These priests are going to get caught out as well. The rock's incoming onto this location. He can drop this one down while this fight's coming on. Myto's going to be focusing on this, so he's probably not going to spot the rock raid very quickly either. As the rock comes in, he drops him, or not drops him in the best position. He was a little bit nervous to get spotted there. Now he's picking these guys off. The Hersa, he gets automatically focused onto that Bestusios as the attack is moving in here, and Three-Eyed Odin has to keep retreating. The Hersa are coming down. These chariot archers should be able to get these this Hersa here. Hopefully no myth units spawn there, and then the gold mine village is going to be really hurting here. But we are seeing Three-Eyed Odin is on a gigantic attack here. He's now having to spam out the mercenary capital. Got a lot of resources in the back, not spending the resources he's only got one barracks up as well. Needs to throw down a bunch more if he wants to continue here. Rain's just about over. Flaming weapons gets instantly cast here, and this is going to be really difficult for Three-Eyed Odin to defend against. Really nice mountain giant spawn right there. He's going to move those guys right over onto the houses, start taking them down as he decides to just walk through the house somehow. Now he starts taking down that watchtower. All of these units are dealing so much damage right here. The mercenary cavalry are still on spam, but Three-Eyed Odin doesn't have that much gold in the bank, and these mercenary cavalry, while they are really strong units, with the flaming weapons, you're just supplying favor right now. Now we're seeing the mountain giant, the battle ball, all the units jumping onto this town center. It will come down. The gold mine has been pushed off, but the town center is just about to go. And we now see Three-Eyed Odin getting his villages out of that town center, trying to pick off all of these raiding cavalry. The raiding cavalry and the Hersa are too much. We still have flaming weapons here as well, and the town center just about to fall here. It does go down. It's a 63 population to 73 population, so it's actually not as bad as you'd think for Three-Eyed Odin. He can still kind of continue here. He gets out the war elephants, which is a really important unit here, but he doesn't have a temple. He needs to get priests. He needs to get his pharaoh out, and Three-Eyed Odin decides to tap out. GG, well played there by Myto, taking that ridiculous loss on the economy and just going all in with this fight here. Kind of felt a little bit like a Ragnarok attack here. Do or die. If it didn't work, it was over. If it did work, then that was it. But I feel like Three-Eyed Odin could have continued here. He still had this gold mine. He still had the Migdol stronghold. If he gets out a couple of priests, gets his pharaoh out of here by the time these units come over, should be able to pick off the mountain giant and the other stuff. Myto's got no resources in the bank, basically. He's trying to build battle ball, but he can't. He's trying to build raiding cavalry. He can build raiding cavalry, but he's really battling for the population here because of his economy. But jeez, Myto taking that one up 2-0 in this best of 5 series here. Well played, Myto. We'll jump into that next game shortly here. Thanks for being with me on this Thursday evening.